The geopolitical landscape is gradually shifting, with nations re-evaluating the economic strategies in response to the changing global order. Now, at the forefront of these movements is Russia, which has been increasingly vocal about its desire in reducing the US dollar dependence. This feature seeks to unravel Russia's efforts in reversing the trend. The dominance of the US dollar can be traced back to the Bretton Woods Agreement in 1944, which established the dollar as the world's primary reserve currency. This agreement has afforded the United States significant economic advantages, including the ability to run trade deficits with relative impunity and to impose sanctions on other nations without severe repercussions. Countries like Russia, this has often felt like a double-edged sword. The imposition of sanctions following events such as the annexation of Crimea in 2014 has highlighted the vulnerabilities that come from reliance on a currency controlled by a geopolitical rival. Russia's push to diminish dollar dominance is driven by several economic considerations. First and foremost is a desire for financial stability. The volatility associated with dollar fluctuations can have significant impact on Russia's economy, particularly given its reliance on oil and gas exports, which are often priced in dollars. By diversifying its reserves and conducting trade in alternative currencies, Russia aims to insulate itself from external shocks and the whims of US monetary policy. Additionally, Russia has been actively pursuing trade agreements that share its skepticism towards the dollar. For instance, partnership with China and India have led to increased transactions in rubles and yuan. The establishment of the BRICS Bank, comprising Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, further signifies an effort to create alternative financial structures that bypass traditional Western institutions. The geopolitical motivations behind Russia's strategy are equally significant. In a world where power dynamics are shifting towards multipolarity, Russia seeks to position itself as a leader amongst nations that are wary of US hegemony. This is not just about economies, it's about asserting influence and fostering alliances that can counterbalance Western power. The ongoing conflict in Ukraine and tensions with NATO have all intensified Russia's resolve. By promoting alternatives to the dollar, Russia not only seeks economic independence but also aims to rally other nations that feel marginalized by Western policies. This coalition building is evident in forums like the Shanghai Cooperation Organization (SCO), where discussions often center around reducing dollar dominance.
Fluctuations of global politics, and by the way, as far as the relationship between the United States and China is concerned, we do not need to cross borders, we do not need to use seas. We have a common border. As for energy from Russia, it is in fact limitless. If we consider the relationship of the United States and China, I think the United States needs to give it a thought. They have spoiled the relationship with Russia by imposing continuously sanctions, and it has a negative impact eventually on them. So the entire world is thinking whether dollar is worth using, considering that the United States, for political reasons, restricts the use of their currency as a universal international unit of payment. Now everyone is doubting this, and the volume of dollar is reducing, both in settlements and in reserves too. Consider traditional allies of the United States. Even they reduce their dollar reserves. Now China. One sanction follows another. It is not related to politics. It is because of the Chinese economy booming, and also because of an attempt to decelerate this growth by imposing various politically driven sanctions. Another point I would like to add here. The United States is late some 15 years. I mean, they will not be able to stop the Chinese development. it is an impossible task. It's like saying to the sun, do not rise. It will rise. There are objective economic processes.
In addition to traditional diplomatic and economic efforts, technology plays a crucial role in Russia's strategy. The rise of digital currencies presents new opportunities for nations to transact without relying on the dollar. Russia has been exploring its own digital currency, the digital ruble, which can facilitate cross-border transactions and reduce reliance on foreign payment systems. Moreover, advancements in blockchain technology offer potential pathways for secure transactions that bypass traditional banking systems dominated by the West. As countries around the world explore these technologies, Russia's proactive stance could position it as a leader in a new financial paradigm. Despite its ambitions, Russia faces significant challenges in its quest to end dollar dominance. The US dollar is deeply entrenched in global trade and finance, and any shift away from it requires not only time but also widespread cooperation from other nations. Additionally, Western responses to these initiatives could be swift and punitive. Economic sanctions or retaliatory measures could arise if Russia's actions are perceived as a direct threat to the US. The geopolitical chess game continues, with each move set by countermoves. Russia's push to end dollar dominance, rooted in historical grievances, economic necessity, and geopolitical strategy. As the world moves towards a potentially multipolar future, understanding these dynamics becomes crucial for comprehending global economic trends. Whether or not Russia can successfully challenge the status quo remains to be seen, but its determination is a significant shift in how nations view their place within an increasingly complex international system. In essence, this movement is not just about currency, it's about sovereignty, it's about identity and the quest for a new world order where power is more evenly distributed amongst nations. As we watch these developments unfold, one thing is clear, that the financial global stage is poised for transformation, and Russia is so determined in playing a pivotal role in this change.